Hi, everybody. Welcome to Building Foundations with Shari. Today, we are with some amazing builders, Modern Builders, Inc. of Florida, correct? Welcome, Greg. Welcome, Alicia. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
The pleasure's ours. Greg Glass is my name. I'm the owner of Modern Builders. It was incorporated back in 1957. So we've been building for 67 years. I've been building for over 50. We're a third generation company, and I'm fortunate. Third generation is Alicia, my daughter.
That's amazing. Like, I know my son and I are in a business, Katie and her dad and her mom. So family businesses really mean a lot. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is Alicia James, and of course, I do work with my dad as a third generation builder. I have worked with a few other builders in the past. I have about 10 years of experience in about all different facets, from marketing to the construction to accounting. So a little bit of everything if you know the business.
Very good. So
Awesome. Greg, will you kind of let us know maybe one crazy little fact that is fun and exciting about you that doesn't deal with work?
Yeah, we really want people to know, like we are just what we are. So we want to know about your fun.
Yes, I'm a Florida native. I was fortunate enough to move from Orlando to the West Coast back in the 70s. And probably the most exciting thing that I enjoy doing is boating. The unfortunate side of this business is I don't have time to do what I enjoy. So I try and live as close to the water as possible so I can enjoy it when I get that free opportunity. So that's what I enjoy.
So thinking about this coastline, Sarasota, Charlotte, Lee County, where's your best boating or fishing spot?
Quite frankly, it's off of Longboat Key, which is a little bit north of us. That particular location, due to new pass, has got a tremendous amount of sea life coming in and out of it. And then Big Pass just off of Siesta Key. But down here, what makes it probably better than anything else is Charlotte Harbor. It opens up directly into the Gulf of Mexico. The greatest tarpon fishing in the world is here every year. So if you have that opportunity and you like to fish, this is the place to be.
So you know what? We're just going to come on your boat someday. How does that sound? So
I've had some awfully nice boats.
Done this on the boat, right?
I've had some awfully nice boats in my life.
We're just going to package that in.
At this stage, I don't enjoy it as much.
And Alicia, what about you?
So I don't know if it's necessarily crazy, but one of the most fun facts I think have from growing up is a lot of times when he was working on the weekends in these model homes, my sister and I were right there in these model homes pretending that we were customers, going to the design center, sitting in the movie theaters that were there, and just really immersing ourselves. And, several years later, I didn't think I was going to get in the building business, but I think I just fell in love at such a young age that it just continued on.
So it was more like a lifestyle than it was a job, right?
Yes,
you grew up.
Exactly. We made a lot of fun back then.
Very good. Excellent.
Well, when they were babies, I would actually take them in my car and we would visit the job sites and drive all over Orlando. So they had an opportunity at a very young age to be straddled in where they had no choice. And then eventually they got to the point where they loved it. And now both my daughters are in a career, and I'm fortunate enough to have one work with me.
So we're going to have to let Willow and Eastman know exactly what their destiny is going to be.
They ask about payroll, trust me. They ask about payroll.
Very important.
So one of the reasons we are excited to partner with you is that you are a wide spectrum of builder. You do production for new homeowners, for investors, all the way up to custom builds.
Correct.
So one of the ventures that we have with you is that we have several production builds that are in Northport and Port Charlotte. Can you tell us a little bit about those homes?
Absolutely. I spent about a year working on what are people looking for in this particular area. And we basically cover from Northport out to Port Charlotte and Placida. And what we found is that scaling a home down to where I can get 3 bedrooms, a den, 2 baths, a big covered lanai, it was more about the quality of what went into the home compared to the size. And that's where we focused our attention to. A lot of people coming down from the north were looking for more storage space. So everything I have that's under construction or finished have all got 2.5 car garages. So there's plenty of storage there. Home
That
with
is, I
complete.
got to tell you, that is a really nice feature because when we get people from the north that come down and they're like, "This is a 2-car garage," I'm like, "It's Dukes of Hazzard style." The windows. So that is
I'll
definitely.
refer to it as a single story attic, something for better word. So you got that extra space. The one thing that I think we really bring to the table is that working with new home construction, and I've built everything from starter homes to $6 million custom homes. So I've got quite a range of what I do. But I'm seeing with the average age that's coming to the area, I also am very involved in universal design and aging in place, and have built for totally disabled, special functions, special needs that are need to be incorporated into homes.
Absolutely.
So we have all those design capabilities and the tools and the franchisees that work with us to bring that. So we can build a home that looks just like this, but it can take care of the needs of individuals that have those special requirements.
And when you just to give us a brief, like when you talk about this, because you and I talked about this before, like one of the ones that I thought was amazing was that you could run like oxygen lines
Absolutely.
throughout the house, so you don't have to transport tanks. Can you? I mean, Alicia, I don't know if you're in. Do you have another feature that you like about?
So as far as my involvement with that, unfortunately, it does go more so to him. I
Yeah.
can't
That's
really
right.
speak to that.
But you're going to market it eventually, so we know how that works. So what's another one that you think would be really high priority?
Well, quite frankly, one of the biggest things we run into is I'm an individual that's had both my shoulders replaced. I've had my right hip, my left knee. So I understand what it's like trying to get into a typical bathroom, to take a shower, to do the things that you need to do. And there are items that you have to be concerned with when you run into a wheelchair that's got to be into a certain space, how the cabinets open, access to the to the shower area. So all these are important with regards to the oxygen. That's where you deal with aging in place, knowing that you've got somebody that you don't want to put in a nursing home. You be able to come into the home at pre-construction and be able to set up the oxygen lines and set up where the tanks are going to go so they don't have to have a hose throughout the house. We also work with chain-driven access from the bed all the way into the bathroom. So the franchisees that work with offers all this, and it's a matter of working with them to understand the engineering that's needed.
So what's chain driven?
If you've got somebody that's disabled and stuck in a bed, and you've got to be able to get them from the bed into the bathroom or into another area of the house, it actually is it's almost like it's a loop, if you will, that can pick them up off the bed where they can sit into like a basket and bring them into the bathroom area or into the kitchen area. It's very expensive, but in the same respect, it keeps them from being where somebody's got to carry them all the time. You've got to be able to lift them to get to that point. But the company One-on-One Mobility we work with, that is something that they do a lot of. Also chairlifts, even areas inside the garage where it's just a 4-inch lift. The ability of having that slight lift so they can deal with the ramp.
Yeah.
The covered areas out back where we can offer a smooth access point from the inside of the house directly out to the porch. So if you are in a wheelchair, if you've got problems in being able to walk, we can mitigate all that right up front.
So everything
that's
I'm
great.
hearing from you is custom homes for you. You can handle pretty much anything. The home we're in today is more of a semi-custom spec home that you
It
guys-
is.
the product you're working with right now.
I've looked at certain sizes of doors that we know that need to be done in advance. But when we get into shower areas and what have you, they're not meant for everybody. But in future homes that I do, we work with them. We've got the plans there. We've got the big screen. We can sit and understand their needs. I can bring my partner in that handles that side of the business. So the ability of designing specifically for their needs is a piece of cake.
Great. And we've met with a couple builders recently that are more spec, have your lot, do that. Now, if I have a customer that has their own personal lot on the videos that we've talked about, fun and joy of land hunting with Shari and Katie, once you find that lot, they could call you and work with us and you on building from scratch. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yes. There's a misnomer about a buildable lot and an unbuildable lot. Every lot is buildable. It's a matter of what is it going to take to make it buildable.
Well, that is a good
And-
clarification.
In
You're
doing
right
your
about that.
homework, we want to find out, is there power to the lot? We want to get a survey that's going to show us the boundaries, where the trees are there gopher turtles that we have to deal with? Run across something just as recently as yesterday. No sewer and water lines in a particular street. The buyer never knew that. They bought the lot. There's no power, there's no sewer, there's no water in a community that's a sewer and water community. And due to that fact, there are tremendous delays in being able to move forward. So we will do as much homework as we possibly can in trying to estimate what those costs are going to be so that client knows up front before they make that purchase. It's one thing to put a deposit down while you do that quote unquote 30-day research, if you will, due diligence. That gives us time to be able to bring to the table what we can. But I do suggest that that client, if they're interested, really interested, that they have a survey done on the property.
Yeah.
It's worth it to find out, is there anything that we don't know? And we have found before in a corner lot, the person bought for $40,000. They couldn't put their well on the property because the two houses next to them on the corner had septic tanks, and we couldn't be 75 feet away. And they had already bought the lot.
Yeah.
We found that by virtue of a survey.
So I think that that's one reason that's really important to work with the realtor and make sure that you're doing these due diligence. And we're seeing a lot, number one, of scams for lots in the area, but we're also seeing a lot of for sale by owners, and they just turn and burn. You know, they just send them, and this is a buyer beware state. So you get what you buy.
And
you
they
know
may
what I
not
mean?
even
So-
know. The seller may not
Yeah,
know.
in
I mean,
defense, yeah.
people own land here for many years. It gets handed down, so it is a buyer beware. So you need to do your due diligence, and you need to
Absolutely.
talk to a realtor about it and get with a builder. And that's why even if you plan on not building for several years, it's still really good.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. At least you'll know what you bought.
Yep.
Yes.
So Alicia, what is your favorite part of the business?
So my favorite part is the very beginning, in which the person initially makes that contact with us, because that allows me to really get to know them. And that's, again, one of my favorite parts, because either one, they already own a lot, or two, they're on the hunt for a lot. And that part of the process, again, is very fun because we get to kind of figure out where they want to be. And the second part of that I get to enjoy too is really narrowing down our floor plans, because we do have such a nice wide range, anywhere from about 1,300 square feet plus 2,200 square feet, give or take the custom aspects. And then really help them decide if that floor plan is for them. And then that third part of the process I get to really have fun with is the design aspect.
Right.
It's really kind of making that home exactly the way they want it. We do offer quite a bit of range of design selections, and that's always the fun part, because people get excited about the colors. And I've been with other builders before in which that always was still my favorite part of the process, because people just get so excited about that.
So you get the fun design, you get the fun
I get-
questions when we have delays in such things, right?
Yes. And I get the opposite end of fun. But at the end of the day, if I can add, when the house is complete, like what you're seeing right here, and that client walks in that door and sees it, and we have the home completely inspected by an outside party before we accept it. And once we do, we know that the house is as perfect as we can get. And in addition to that, we're allowed to go ahead and give that client a 210 warranty. So it comes with every home. And that's an important thing. Not every builder can have that. And we're fortunate enough that we have.
So customer service is what I'm hearing is you enjoy that part of it.
It's a necessity. The goal is to create a perfect home to start with. Not everything's perfect, just like a Lexus or anything else. They got service centers.
Yes, right.
You're trying to do the best you can.
And that's what I heard you say was as perfect as we can get it. Like, what advice? Because I think it's the excitement, it's the we're going to do it. And it's like, I always say it's like having babies. It's romantic until you actually have the baby. Do you know what I mean? And then it's like sleepless nights. So building your own home sounds like amazing and romantic. And when you get into the process of it, what advice do you give to our clients about getting into the process and the nitty gritty of building?
There's one word. It's patience.
It is a virtue. It is a virtue.
It is the building process is longer than it's ever been before because we got so many departments within the municipalities. When I first started building in Sarasota County back in 71, I could take 4 sheets of plans into Sarasota County Building Department at 7 in the morning. By 11 o'clock, I'm walking out with a permit. Today, the process I have to go through, today it can run anywhere from 6 to 10, 11 months just to get that permit. So it's important that we have as much information together as humanly possible when we go put that application in. But once it's in, quite frankly, it's out of our control. It goes through so many departments that it's almost ridiculous. And once we get it, the second part of patience is when a home's under construction and you'll see the walls up and the trusses on, there's about 6 weeks in there where we're putting the electric in, we're putting the plumbing in, we're putting the air conditioning in, we're putting eventually the insulation and drywall in. So when you look at it, it doesn't look like anything's getting done, but stuff is happening all the time. And when we take pictures, we have a digital diary on our Dropbox of every home that we build. So our clients can go in and see almost about every other week their home under construction, no matter where they live. They can share the Dropbox with any of their friends or family members. And that's the biggest headache is we're not seeing any activity. And that's why. But you know,
It's going on behind the walls, right? Behind the walls.
in the walls.
So one of the marketing pieces I actually put together is called the New Home Journey. So it really takes that client step by step through the estimated timeframes to that pre-construction part that he was just talking about, to really have them understand the permitting and what goes into it. And then once we start, it breaks it down in a couple of phases of construction. So that way, when they look at it from the beginning, they're having that estimated window. And whenever they're looking at, when they went to contract and looking at this market material, they can expect, okay, I'm in that point of where my home is going to be in the mechanicals. So at least they can kind of get an idea and they're not blind. So that is always our MO, is to make sure that they understand this is our estimated timeline. These are the things that are occurring at each given time.
Nice.
Anything can happen in between. I mean, things that are totally out of our control.
And the last page is always a little caution flag. You could go to this or you could go back, right? Remember the books in elementary school, like you could read and then turn to page 136 for this ending or whatever.
Yes.
Oh yeah, it was a while ago.
Do you have any, go ahead.
I was just going to say, so if they don't reach out, can't reach us, or they leave us a voicemail and you just have a dying urge to talk to somebody that minute,
We're going to have your information.
We're going to put it down below. But
Yeah,
you
you'll
want to
send
share
it.
your information so they all know it.
Absolutely. So our website is modernbuildersfl.com, and you can reach us directly through there. The number on the website is going to get one of us directly. So that's who you're going to talk to immediately. And then also there's an info email there too, which again comes to both of us immediately as well.
Very good. And what questions have we not asked you? So, we try to be as thorough as possible, but if you're thinking about giving advice to clients who are thinking about building, or maybe something we didn't ask you about your company that you would like to share with us.
I think I can answer that. I think.
Well, you both get to answer.
I'll give you my short answer. I think homework that client needs to do on the builder that they select is a very big deal. I've been licensed since 1975 as a contractor and 78 as a real estate broker, and figure out how many years that is. And I'm still here. And that individual that's looking for something can go to myfarda.com, they can go to the Department of Professional Regulation, and they can check on that. They can also check within the municipality, if there are any complaints against the builder and what have you. Being here as long as we have puts us in a different position than the guy that may have just moved down from New York, Ohio, or Wisconsin, what have you, and says, I'm going to put up a couple of houses. It doesn't work out, he's gone.
Right.
I've been here since 71, and I've built all over the state.
And you're in Florida, to stay in Florida. You're native.
I don't plan on leaving this coast at all.
I've got a great. What counties do you cover?
Manatee, Sarasota, and Charlotte.
And you're looking to move towards Lee County?
I am. We're looking very heavily right now at the Cape Coral area. Although I've got close to 20 homes that'll be available across the board between Northport and Placida area, Cape Coral seems to be a location we want to be in next.
Yeah. So if you have lots, let us know because we might be able to work out some deals so you guys are able to start in Cape. Because honestly, I'm excited about continuing to work, but you get to answer the question of what would you like the clients to know?
Yeah. So I think for Modern Builders Inc., what's sort of a really great trait for us in this area is we do have that array of ready now. We have ones that are going to be ready in about 6 to 7 months. And then we also have the ones that are just breaking ground. And then we have the ability to build. So whoever is walking in the door, no matter what stage they're in, whether they're saying, I'm not ready to move in right now. Okay, is a year good from now? Yes. So then that's where we get to continue to work with them, other than just saying, sorry, we don't have anything for you. So I think that's a really great trait for this area because you never know who's going to walk in the door and what their story is and what they need at this moment or later on.
Good. Anything else, Katie?
No, I think sounds good to me.
It was great. Thank you for joining us. And
Call us. We'll put you in touch with them.
she always
The pleasure
we always
is all-
make her do the promos. We always
The
do
pleasure
it.
is all ours.
Yeah, very
Thank you
good.
for having
Thank
us.
you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks.
I'm the one that asked for business.
I'm the chicken lady. I'm the one you make fun of. You're the one that asked for business. So, Alicia, what's your favorite part of this process? Oh, we'll wait. Hold on.
We'll restart
Hold
that
on.
question in here.
Pardon me.
Okay,
Sorry.
stand still for 2 seconds and go.
So, Alicia, what is your favorite part of the business?
We're back on home. Start over again.
All right, now we're trying to
Okay,
get
Hi there.
All right,
Ready?
everybody stand still.